What's going on, everybody? Hey, what's going on? What's going on? So we got a little bit of a delay. I don't know if this is lighting. My lighting was perfectly set, but things happen. So I'm going. It should be okay for right now. Um, I introduced this amazing new filter dial to help control the light as well inside of the camera, which is the light that's coming out. So it's basically a diffusing filter that really works. It's my dog. He's always trying to come in, trying to find out what I'm doing. One day I'll have you guys meet him. Let's see if he comes in. You coming in? You coming in? Since he always busts in. Come on. Come on. Come on, man. Come on. So you guys, I'm going to have him come on up so you guys can meet him. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Up. Let's go. Come here. Oh, my God. Oh, this is my man, big man here. If you get to see him, come on up. Oh my gosh, he's so big. So this is Ollie. He sneaks in all the time. So I was trying to figure out what I'm doing and what we get going on. So he's a big old Brittany poodle or doodle. It's about 2.5 years old now. Had him since he was a baby. But yeah, he's always trying to find out what's going on. And I wanted to have him come in and say hi. What's up? I don't have any snacks. That's why he's really here. All right. I'll see you guys later. Come on. Get up now. Come on. All right. So I get to talking, even though I know they'll love you. We'll come back soon. All right, guys. So that's my man, Oliver. So if you guys like Oliver, please do go ahead and support him too, because he's a champ. He probably have his own channel and do better than me later on. So excuse me. There's a lot going on. It's Friday, and it is May the 1st. No, I'm sorry, March the 1st. I'm trying to jump ahead. And so, we had an extra day. So, right, we have February 29th, around every 3 or 4 years. So, and we have the first Friday of the month, which is now March the 1st. So, man, it is a beautiful time. I'm here in Seattle, Washington, or in Washington. And I work around the Pacific Northwest as a photographer. And what we're going to be talking about today is, really for you to get more comfortable with your camera, get more comfortable with your gear, and feel like you're doing. Let me go ahead and close this, just in case. Here we go. It's my man, my dog. He always comes in. So just in case that, excuse me, let me drink something real quick. Excuse me. Just in case you guys are not feeling comfortable or feeling like you know how to use your camera. Now, I use Canon. Now, this information I'm giving out to you is for all brands of cameras, because this is about the triangle settings of your camera, which is ISO and your shutter speed and f-stop. So we're going to kind of concentrate on a little bit of all of it, just to make sure that you guys understand and what it means and how to utilize it using your amazing equipment here. And everything. So I'll just be kind of pointing to the parts that I'm looking at when I'm talking about your displays up here, which are setting displays right here. And then you have your display that's on the back of the camera that you can see certain things, and also too in your menu side as well. And also to the inside of your viewfinder. So this is your viewfinder. This is on your back display. And this is your top setting display area right here. So when I'm talking about certain things, then if I point to it out, you can see it as well. Why is ISO important to your, I guess, work or for you to be comfortable with your camera? I would dare to say a lot of people, including myself, when I first started out on using a DLSR, I was in automatic settings, which is I was in automatic aperture and or priority with the shutter speed as well. And the aperture was your f-stop. So what that means is that something was changing, something was staying the same. So if it was prioritizing one, the other one will change. So if I was prioritizing my shutter speed, that's my camera setting outside of manual, let's see here, it would be the AV and TV will be aperture. So TV on your camera, and then if you was to look right here, I'm sorry, I'm gonna back this up, on your dial right here. So you see MAV TV and a whole bunch of other stuff on there. So you have different ones that communicate. AV is for your shutter, TV is for your f-stop. Okay. And if I got those backwards, I apologize. But so, and then B is for bulb. And bulb is that's a whole different thing. And we're going to be doing a great video on bulb shoot. I'm telling you, that bulb, woo, I'm telling you, you have not used that. You're going to enjoy some of the videos that I'll be putting out later on about bulb when I go out doing some street photography. And you'll see some great, beautiful works on there, because it's a fun time. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have something. My sandwich. My sandwich. Let me see the. Oh yeah, sandwich earlier. And this is real time, man. So, and that's why I think I got a lot dry, the bread and stuff like that. Anyway, so when you think about those things, but bulb, we'll talk about those later. So let's go back to the ISO. But before I get too involved with the conversation, if you guys can go ahead and like, subscribe, and also to share these videos if you like them. I'm going to be on here talking because this is a talk, and I'll do this a little bit of training. Some of my other talks, I've just been discussing how to get your business going, how to work things out. But I want to talk to you about mastering your photography. And I want to go ahead and show you something here. And this is a beauty. If I do it, get it home here. This was, if you want to understand lighting, if you want to understand how to do certain things in camera and be successful at it and utilizing it, and people want to buy it by your word because you did what you're supposed to do for them, then this is for you. You want to make sure that you start mastering your photography, trusting what you're doing, being comfortable with what you're doing. This episode is for you, and I hope that at the end of this, you will have a better understanding of these things. Now, will you have to practice? Will you have to go and rehearse? Will you have to get some more coaching? Probably so. So don't think that the first time you hear about it, it is the last time you need to learn about it. That's the first sip of the day. So appreciate that. So my goal is, and every time that I get into a conversation with everyone, is to leave them with more to think about, more to explore, and more to want to know. So it's not an answer. It's just a discussion, okay? So let's talk about ISO. ISO, I will give you this. It is for you. ISO is built into your camera. So if you're in manual settings or if you're automatic, you can go automatic ISO as well in your camera settings as well. So you can learn your, every camera is a little bit different how you get to it. But on this particular camera, this is a Canon 5D Mark III. And the way I get to my ISO is I will just press this button right here, and it will show me the ISO preference. And then I will use my individual dials, either my dial here or, my dial here at the top, to go ahead and turn to change out my ISO scenarios. Capturing. Now, when will you use it? Why is it important for you to use it, and how you use it? But let's talk about it first. It's a lot to go into. ISO is pretty much. I had another conversation when I talked about AI. If you looked at one of my old videos, my last video before this one, AI is giving you an opportunity to build something into something. It's artificial. It's already there. You know, it's to assist you. So this right here, I call this the AI of the camera, because when you don't have enough light, you can put on automatic ISO without you don't have to think about it anymore. And then the camera will then say, hey, I'm gonna use this artificial intelligence to either allow the structure to be more lit or to be darker. It's a lot that happens in there. Do I know all the electronics of it? No, but it's artificial. It is just not a realistic look to what you're actually seeing. The reason why it's not realistic, because as I see something forward, like on here, I don't have my lights up high enough. Let me turn this light up here, right here. Let me put this one up. Give me a little bit more light. So if I don't have enough light in here, and then I will turn on my ISO. My ISO says, "Hey, I'm gonna put more light on here, and I'll tell you how much light you need for this picture to be right." Where you say, "Well, I don't want that much. I want this much because that is where I want to be." But ISO can have a problem because it says, "Well, it needs to have this much to have this picture to be perfect." But what ends up happening is that you will develop a lot of noise. And what is noise? It's basically a lot of little crummy looking things because things are not just looking right. It's just not operating right. So, but that's what happens. Okay, that's what happens when you are absolutely you want to use this on automatic. Now, when you're in manual mode, for those of you who are ready to get off of automatic modes priorities, you will put your ISO on manual mode. Okay, and how you put it on manual mode is basically take it off the A, automatic. Okay, there's a button that will scroll all the way to the A. If you don't know, please do look right here down into your display camera. You guys won't be able to see it on my camera, unfortunately, but I will hit here if I can show it to you. And I'll go ahead and light this up, see if it allows you to see it. But there's an A right there. And inside that A, if you want to get rid of it, you basically just turn it off. You just scroll to the first numbers that you need to scroll to. I'll pause it and I got to click back on it. You scroll to the numbers that you want to get off of it, and it will take it off, and you'll be at 100, ISO 100. And when you're at ISO 100, I'm trying it this way. Is that too close, too far away? I will get this all out. When you're at ISO 100, that is your setting. It won't change. Okay. Now, I'm in manual. It says ISO 100. I'm off of automatic. Now I know my shot is going to be whatever the camera settings are to this whatever area you're in. I don't have a trigger on here, so I don't have a flash. I don't have a hot shoe, so nothing's going to come out of nothing. There's no more light that's going to help me other than what I just allowed my camera to allow that ISO portion of my triangle. And I'll talk to you about the triangle settings to work for me in my camera. So hopefully I didn't make that as clear as mud. So when you have ISO, so if I set my camera and I say I want my camera to be set to have this view that I particularly want to have, I need to set my camera, my f-stop, my shutter speed, and then I can change my ISO, or I can set my ISO. Now, in this room that I'm in right now, I would dare to tell you, if I was to take a shot in this room, which I will, I'm going to point this way. So, because it's darker over here. I am at 250. Let me just go. This is Sigma 85. Okay, I don't go past. I try not to go past my focal length. Okay, so it's a 125th, and I'm gonna go wide open to 1.4. So f-stop goes up to 1.4. So I'm going to just take a random picture. And let's see what happened. Oh, do I have my cover on? You guys didn't see that. I was like, what the heck? I was like, I know I'm bad, not that bad. All right. So it's one picture. Let's go here. Okay. All right. So in this one picture, it's blank. Okay. It's just no light that's going to allow it to be in there. So even though I am wide open to 1.4 at 1/25th of a stop, I know I'm gonna need to use some ISO. So I'm gonna go and change my ISO. In this room, I'm gonna guess. First, I'm gonna guess 400. I'm gonna guess 400, but I know and believe it's gonna be between 600 to 800. All right, so it's coming in, but it's not there. Okay, you guys, let me go ahead and put it. You guys you really can't see anything. I mean, honestly, you can't really see anything. So I'm gonna go up to 800. All right, so there's some picture coming in. Okay, ISO is at 800. I'm gonna take that picture again, and you'll start seeing that picture come in. Okay, so that's me taking a picture of my shelf right there. Now, I'm just changing the ISO. I'm at 100, 1/25th. I'm wide open at 1.4 f-stop, and my ISO is at 800. I finally see a picture illuminating coming because I just only changed my ISO. Now, if I say, well, I don't want to have my ISO any higher than 800, right? So I know my lens can go to 85, so I'm just gonna go down to 100. I'm just taking a shot of a bookshelf. I'm looking down at my screen. I'm just taking a shot of a bookshelf. Um, that's all I'm taking a shot of. So I'm not taking a shot of a person. They're not moving, things like that. So I know it's not gonna move. So, and it gets, and the picture gets a little bit more crisper. So now that I know, I absolutely have to use my ISO again, or I have to add more light. That could be, I can add this light here, which can change. I can add some light over there, and I'll take that same picture, and that ISO is going to give me a different lookout. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hit that guy there. So if you can actually see it a lot better on there. All right, you really don't see the picture, but you see a lot better from there. Now I'll show you the one before. That's the one before. Okay, so just because I added light to the scenario, I said I don't want to change my ISO in here. I don't want to change my shutter speed in here. I don't want to change my f-stop anymore. I just want to make sure that I have enough ISO to give me the information. So that's a problem solving issue I was going to go into later, but I want to share that with you because even though I see this pretty much how it was shot, because it's dark over there, it's because the light, I got all the light concentrated on me. I got my overhead light off. So I don't have any other light in here other than the really on me. So I know my ISO was going to be at 800 or above. I normally don't like to go past 800. I really don't. That's why I'm a studio shooter. So I love shooting in the studio because I can control the light how I want it. It's crisp, it's nice, and you're able to get the types of images that you want to see all the time by using the proper light setting. Everything I do is in manual. I do not do anything automatic because I like to control how my light flows, how it looks, and everything else. So if you guys haven't seen my website, please do go to hifiphoto.com. The description, there'll be a description and here on the tag thing too, so you can go ahead and look into it as well. So I mentioned some things about if I'm going through my ISO, my triangle, what is happening? I talked to you about my f-stop and my shutter speed. What is shutter speed? Is actually what it says, the speed of your shutter. That's what it means. Shutter speed is the speed of your shutter. And that is a dial that has it'll be a hundredth of, or 0.5 of, 0.5 of. So it's the speed of your shutter. It's telling you how much light is being allowed for how much time in order for your image to be captured in its fullness, in its entirety. How much you're going to open up that shutter or keep it open before it closes in order for you to grab enough light in order for your image to register itself properly. Your f-stop is allowing you your focal points, which is how much detail, I tell people, how much detail and focus you have onto your actually object as well, which is allowing certain amount of light in and closing it off at the same time. Your ISO is the same way. It's just saying, hey, I'm going to not manipulate. I guess I'm going to add to what has already been said from your camera settings. So I may be at 100 ISO or 200 ISO or 250, but I'm gonna add a little bit extra because it's just needed because I don't have any other lighting that I can change in order for me to make this happen. But I can create this opportunity for them to get the type of pictures that they want, and that's ISO in its basic form. Now, if you want to know more, I have a website that I think is it's called Capture the Atlas. Capture the Atlas, the exposure triangle explained. So if you guys want to go ahead, and I'll leave a link, a hyperlink underneath here as well. So that way you can have that if you want to go there and learn a little bit more about it, which is going to give you guys some great information. I use this when I teach classes because it's just very user friendly. It has some picture boards. It really keeps going over and over the triangle effect, and it will help you, especially with your focal points and stuff like that as well. Again, that's another discussion, but this is about ISO. Why is ISO important? And when you think you have it all down, you'll find new ways to create some beautiful imagery by using your camera settings properly. If you're a person that's really afraid of stepping off of manual, I would dare to say start just taking pictures of your stuff on automatic, and then record your settings. Okay, record your settings. So if I shot something in priority, and then I say, well, I like this, but I want to see what it looks like a little bit darker, copy those settings down, change that effect on your camera, go into manual and start changing that effect. And then you'll start learning how to troubleshoot some of the issues that you probably came across, and then you're able to fix. Now, are you going to be able to fix everything with ISO? Absolutely not. I know photographers a great deal. They don't mind going up to 1250, 1700. They don't mind going all the way up to that. If I'm not doing a big printout, I would think I can go up to 1250. If I was just doing something that was for like a website or something that's social media purposes wise, yeah, you can play around with that for that. But if you're trying to print out some big prints, and again, I'm gonna pull it back up here. If you're trying to pull out a print even this size, that noise is going to be there, and it's just not going to be the most attractive point, unless that's your point to the picture itself, that you like the noise. I got other pictures around here that I know I like, especially those ones on the back there, the back of me right there. Those ones were done in the late 30s and even the late 20s, 1920s era, and they have a lot of noise into it because they're just, again, the lenses were different. Cameras with the box cameras or the pinhole cameras, so you had a lot of noises was going to happen because the amount of light that was not being allowed or having to be allowed for that exposure to happen, plus the chemicals that was used to develop, is definitely different than today, of course. So are there ways to make sure, and I will tell you this, and this is a kind of like a masterclass tip. Now, I will tell everybody this: if you use your online, or using any type of programming to adjust your settings, I would tell you, if you have high ISO on your images, it will still be on, the noise will still be on there, and it's going to be very hard to manipulate that noise down. You can get it down. There's many ways to take the noise out, so you can risk having a little bit more noise if you want to take some things out. But I would dare to say, if you do it right in the camera, you can actually make it better in your post work. So, but if you do it wrong in camera, you're going to be fighting that, and you're trying to make it look good. It's just not a good fit. Trust me, I'm a great example of that. So, but it doesn't mean it's not something that's user friendly. Everything is an interpretation how someone sees it. So, if you like images like that, and then you say, "Man, this person does it really well. I like the way they do that." And yes, you can like that. But if you're in certain fields where it's print, there's a lot of printing, and you're giving out some great information about who are you as a photographer in your photography business that they can trust, you definitely want to make sure you understand how to use your camera settings. So we'll be talking about the triangle all the way throughout this channel. So please do follow, subscribe, and share. I subscribe, hit the button, like, and also to share on your platforms as well if you think this video is helpful. Please do. Again, I'm a Canon shooter, but ISO, the triangle, is for all cameras. So don't think that this is something that only one camera system has. All cameras have to deal with this scenario if they want to make their images sharper, more crisper, more clear. They have to know how to use their settings when they're on manual. So don't be afraid. Be very positive that you're on the right track, and you're going forward to gain access to your mastery of your photography. So I thank you guys again. My name is Antoine Washington, Studio 5 and High Five Photo, and this has been another episode of Washington Knows Photos. I thank you guys again for joining me, and you guys have a great weekend. Be sure to check out my What's in Your Studio channel that's on here as well. Some episodes that's on there already. So please do have many more coming. I'll talk to you again. Ciao. I'm out.